Welcome everybody to the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota for live plane spotting on MSP Airport Live. Had to sort through some connectivity issues earlier. Thank you for sticking with us on this Saturday afternoon for live plane spotting. It's been a pretty dramatic past couple weeks for us behind the scenes. Happy to be back on the air for all of you. And walking you through this one today, I'm Alex Redding. Also on the camera, Logan Justice will join me on the broadcast. Hope you're having a great weekend so far.
Wind 1009, gust 16.
Episode 1632 to 12 ready.
Viking 6-1 at Golf, cross runway 12 left, continue Golf, Charlie, cross runway 4. Gust 3778, turn right.
Also, folks, as you may have noticed, we had to rework our graphics a little bit more over the past couple of months to get everything to gel together well as far as the aesthetic goes. Happy to get that rocking and rolling today. Runway 12 right and runway 12 left are both active today. Quick question for our audience that lives in the Twin Cities area and just in the upper Midwest. How are you folks enjoying the unseasonably warm temperatures?
Taxi Whiskey Delta, monitor 0.9, set.
28 turns, taxi Whiskey Delta, monitor 0.9, Southwest 3236.
All right, we got a Southwest 737-700 scooting out of here.
Scout 3760, wind 090 at 8, gust 16, turn left heading 120, 17, click takeoff. Okay, left heading 120, runway 17, click takeoff, Scout 3760.
This Southwest jet is currently taxiing on Tango, which is behind us at the aircraft viewing area. It'll take us, or it'll take it, I should say, right by the FedEx cargo terminal and UPS pads. We wish them a terrific flight. So how about some Southwest to start the broadcast here today? This is Southwest Flight 3236 coming in from Nashville, Tennessee. Next up for arrival on runway 12 right, it's Delta 1632 from Phoenix Sky Harbor. There she is. November 339, Delta November, at the point this afternoon on this flight.
Any left turn, what's the gate?
Yeah, we're going to gate Fox 13, Delta 1632.
1632, taxi Alpha and Delta to Fox 13, monitor 0.9 on the way, we'll see you.
Alpha Delta, monitor 0.9, Delta 1632, good day.
South southwest 1747, wind 080 at 8, gust 16, turn left heading 140, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
Hey.
Scott 3760,
thanks for
contact
stopping
departure,
by.
good
Hey.
day.
What up, dude?
Scott 3760. Sun Country 1648 outside Cairns, ILS 12 right.
Oh, yeah.
1648 Minneapolis Tower, wind 0907, runway 12 right, clear to land.
12 right, clear land, 1648.
Nice. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is what we got going on here. So this is our production software. We can see all the chat here. We can also post a message. I'm about to do that now. We've got all my sources going here. We just got a shout out from ATC too. They're doing a live stream over there. Which is first time that's ever happened. Yeah, I think that's Joe Jack, a controller.
Cameras,
that we
then I
know.
assume. Yeah.
All right. Hey, you know what? You want to put on a broadcast headset. There you go, dude. Yeah. There you go. Get that plugged in here so it doesn't go anywhere. All right. There you go, dude. Nice. Yeah, good to see you, man.
Good to see you guys out here. Stay warm.
Yeah.
Hey, we are actually streaming, right?
Had a young visitor, got a chance to spend time with him and his family, and great folks here out at the viewing area at the end of Cargo Road. Open from sunrise to sunset to the general public and any aviation enthusiast with an itch to get out and see these metal birds get in the air. We got more A321 action going on there, right in front of Terminal 1. And that is Flight 1632, which we just saw come in from Phoenix Sky Harbor.
Sun Country 539, man. Sorry, guys, all set.
If you're just joining us, welcome to Minneapolis, St. Paul, everyone, at MSP Airport Live. Super happy to be back on the air. It's been a tumultuous month of January trying to get a bunch of network issues sorted out behind the scenes with now our previous network provider. And then, of course, we had a bunch of crew availability conflicts. And so finally we're able to take advantage of the lovely temperatures for the month of now February here in the state of Minnesota and get out and doing what we love to do, putting on a stream for you guys. All right, here we got our first sunny on the broadcast this afternoon. This is Sun Country Flight 1648 from LAX.
Delta, monitor point 9, Sun Country 1648, so
121.9, the frequency for Minneapolis ground. Well, one of the frequencies for Minneapolis ground. That's the one that's most commonly used here at MSP Airport. The tower frequency is 126.7. That's what we're currently listening to. You can see the bug in the upper left-hand corner of the screen.
Tower 7754 to touch flight of Cairns, ILS 12 right. Sun Country 539, turn right heading 215, contact departure, good day. 7754, Minneapolis Tower, wind 090 at 9, runway 12 right, clear to land. Clear to land, 12 right, Sun Country 754.
Hey, Alex. We are actually streaming, right? It's not. Okay, we're good for cooking? Okay.
Yes, we are, Logan. We are cooking. There's Sun Country 1648 once again, making its way over to Terminal 2. Despite the overcast conditions today, it's expected to clear up later, so we should see the sun. We've had enough of the overcast weather around the Twin Cities these past couple of months.
You guys got that thing up and streaming?
And to answer MSP Tower, we do.
Sweet.
Tower Delta 2062 ILS, 12 right.
2062 Minneapolis Tower, traffic short final, wind 1107, 12 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, 12 right, Delta 2062.
Arriving from Fort Lauderdale, here's Sun Country 754 with a 737-8.
Sorry, 754, 2 right turns, taxi whiskey and Delta, just monitor point 9.
Good Delta, point 9, 754.
Delta 714, wind 090 at 8, turn left heading 120, runway 17, clear for takeoff. Delta 2062, what's the gate before you turn?
Fox 10, Delta 2062.
2062, roger that. Roll down to, you can use Alpha 5 just behind the opposite direction, 73, and then taxi Alpha and monitor point 9.
Alright, behind the 73 Alpha 5, Alpha monitor ground point,
9.
point 9, Delta 2062.
Over 5008, may have start Mike, cross runway 12 right, join whiskey.
Yeah, to Mike, cross 12 right, and then join whiskey, number 5008.
So 2240, may have start Charlie, cross runway 12 right, join whiskey, cross 4.
Charlie cross 12 right, join whiskey, cross 4, Delta 2240.
Charlie 714, pass on base tops, any icing or anything else you might get to departure. You can call them now, we'll see you. Bye-bye. For 5008, sequence behind southwest at the end.
Sorry about that, folks. Had a little issue with one of our network protocols that we had set on our wireless device. It's part of the teething problems that we've been experiencing with transitioning carriers, but that's to be expected. So, I mean, the good news is that we're still on. There's MSP Tower. Always a hive of activity, especially on a day like today. It's a busy Saturday out here at MSP Airport. And busy is good. Well, I suppose it depends on where you are and what you're doing around here. Here's Delta 2240 off to Salt Lake with a 737-900ER. Unfortunately, many of you folks already know the unfortunate news with the MAX 9 situation with those plug doors, same with the 900ER. Of course, Delta combs through these jets and they'll fix and replace or
41, I'm sorry, you guys are number one.
tune up anything that needs tuning.
Southwest 3741, map sorry, all set. Southwest 3741, wind 09008, turn left heading 140, runway 17, clear for takeoff. Clear 5008, southwest is rolling, runway 17, line up and away.
You alright? Okay. If you want, you can put it on me and I'll do a slow pan across the terminal.
Let's do it. All right, so here's what Terminal 1 is looking like this afternoon. We've got a Delta Heavy over there at F Gate.
On contact departure, slump. Air 5008, wind 080 at 8, turn left heading 140, runway 17, clear for takeoff. Go 2240, runway 17, line up and wait.
22 right.
American 2104, map star, wind 08008, runway 2 right, clear to land.
12 right, American 2104.
And of course the G gates that we just momentarily saw. There's always an A330, it seems, sitting over there getting loaded up for a trip overseas or just arriving from overseas across the pond.
So 2240, wind 090 at 9, fly runway heading, runway 17, clear for takeoff. American 1368, Minneapolis Tower Company, still 4 out at Mike, cross runway 12 right, join Whiskey.
Go across 12 right at Mike and then join Whiskey, American 1368.
2008, contact departure.
All right, here's American Airlines 1368 off to Phoenix Sky Harbor with the 737-800. Speaking of the American Airlines 737-800s, the One World livery is here today, and hopefully we'll get to see it depart. Speaking of specials, while I'm on that topic now, the Houston Rockets 767-300ER will be arriving later this afternoon in roughly an hour from now. It'll be the first time that I'll get to lay my eyes on the beautiful 763 the Houston Rockets used to charter themselves around during the NBA season with. Should be a very fun arrival here on runway 12 right, where it's expected to land.
Tower 2240, turn right heading 215, contact departure.
1368 is traveling on Taxiway Whiskey, headed for a departure off of runway 17, which is also active today. You can pretty much bet that if the 12 parallels are active, so that's the southeasterly heading, runway 17 will also be active too. And it also looks like our cloud cover is gradually starting to break up too. That's the other storyline that's going to carry through into the later hours of the day. There you can see the clouds starting to break up. Yay!
Minneapolis Tower, Secretary 8254 is on the ILS 12 right.
Secretary 8254, Minneapolis Tower, wind 0908, now to right, clear to
Who
land.
wants some more American Airlines? Here's 2104 from Dallas, Fort Worth. Nate the Great, thank you for the update on the Houston Rockets 767. Not arriving until 5 or so.
Delta, monitor point 9, we'll see.
Alpha, Delta, ground point 9, take care, American 2104.
Sun Country 623, or numero uno, you guys all set?
Folks, we'll be broadcasting until 5 p.m. this evening. Of course, as we slowly start to work towards the spring months, we're getting our daylight hours back. Bit by bit. And of course, with the daylight in the evening, that'll bring with it our opportunity to bring you all the cargo movements here at MSP during rush hour. And that's going to be something.
American 1368,
MD-11s, 767s. We're going to get to see them up close if we get a taxi on Taxiway Mike, which is one of the signature things about coming to the viewing area and seeing our operations on Taxiway Mike. That's how the windsock is looking today. There's a little bit of wind out, but it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Same with the temps, too. They've been unseasonably warm, and they've been very enjoyable. There's the skyline of downtown Minneapolis, the taller building on the very left. That's the IDS Tower. Built in the 1970s, standing at over 700 feet tall. It's the tallest building in the state of Minnesota. So yes, we can see the downtown Minneapolis skyline from here very well. Makes a good backdrop if we get taxis on the other side of runway 12 right, 30 left. Get that in the background with the aircraft taxiing past. Makes for some pretty good composition.
American 1368, wind 10008, fly runway heading, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
All right, we got another sunny arrival on runway 12 right from Moline. It's 82.54.
Scout 3851, map star, you guys 7 p.m. 4974 map star, Mike cross, 21 to right, join whiskey.
Okay, Mike, cross 12 right, and whiskey, we're to 179, working to forward.
Target 8254, 2 right turns, taxi whiskey and Delta, monitor 0.9, they're just pushing off your gate now.
Alright, we'll do whiskey Delta, we'll monitor ground, country 8254.
Gauss 3851, wind 1209, turn left heading 100, 12 left, cliff ticket. Target 1368, turn right heading 215, contact departure.
All right, here's a look at Endeavor Air Flight 4974 to New York's JFK with a CRJ 900 LR.
Star advised ready. Target 385, wind 1207, turn left heading 140, runway 17, let's take off. Scout 3851, contact departure, we'll see you.
Dallas Country 314, ILS, one break.
Target 314, map star, wind 1207, and 12 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, 1 to right, 314.
314 is coming in from Miami, Florida. 851 Sierra Yankee is the vessel in charge of that flight this afternoon to the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Yeah, it's live stream. It's MSP Airport live. And we're actually streaming it right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Gotta love the friendly folks out here at the aircraft viewing area. Someone coming to check us out. Of course, if you're in the Twin Cities area, feel free to stop by the aircraft viewing area and say hello, although do be mindful that we are fairly busy running the stream. We are going to say hello, though. We like to take care of our peeps. That includes all of you on the live broadcast watching from home or wherever on YouTube.
974, wind 110 at 7, turn left heading 120, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
I'd like to thank our audience today for sticking with us through some of the technical issues that we've been dealing with as far as our network. Good to know that things are continuing to operate smoothly as we work towards the 3 o'clock hour here at MSP. Look to have a real good end to our show tonight, I'll tell you what. If the Houston Rockets 767-300 gets in here during the final remaining moments of daylight hours, I'll tell you what, that's a finale I'd like to see. Question for the audience. Have you seen the Houston Rockets 767-300 jet before? Or any NBA team chartered jet before?
75, 7 maps tower, 4.5 trail, the company 73, wind 1107, or you want to right, clear lane.
Right, clear lane, 570.
Number 4974, contact departure. See ya.
Departure 21, number 49, report.
Sorry, 604 maps tower, afternoon, 4 trail, the company 73, wind 1106, runway to right, clear lane.
1 to right, clear to land, 604.
314, taxi whiskey delta.
There's a look at the conditions continuing to improve as far as the cloud cover getting out of here is anyway. Also happy to roll out our brand new robotic or motorized pan and tilt head for our static cam up on top. Should make it more stable and will also allow us to move it around nice and smooth. It's a huge piece of technology that we've acquired over the past month. And again, that's all thanks in part to the Patreons and the sponsors that have really helped us out along the way. Dynamics, yes, we did hear that Sun Country is getting 737-900 ERs. They are currently finishing up their lease with Oman Air. They will be arriving in late 2024 this year into 2025. It's going to be exciting to see those for the first time.
345, contact departure. See ya.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Also good to see some sunlight. There's like just a little hole. So weird. You ready?
All right, here's Sun Country 604 from Phoenix.
turns when able, taxi Whiskey and Delta, monitor point 9.
2 right turns, Whiskey Delta, monitor point 9, 3604.
How about a 2-for-1, folks? A couple Sun Country 737-8s. One in the famous Tide Pod livery, that's the one currently in view, and then the one that we just saw land was in the much unpopular simplified title scheme that was rolled out in 2017. Didn't last very long until the Tide Pod livery was officially revealed. And the Tide Pod livery, that very spunky looking orange and blue livery on the Sun Country jets that you'll see more often than some of the older liveries nowadays as Sun Country works to repaint eventually their entire fleet. That livery was actually voted on by their employees internally. So they worked with a design agency, developed 6 different livery concepts for the Tide Pod, and the company as a whole got to vote for which one they liked the best, and that would be their new livery. And I think that they chose the best one. Also, folks, it looks like the overcast weather is pretty much done with.
910 Minneapolis Tower, 5 travel BizJet, wind 1.
We have our sun today, finally. Look at that.
Jazz 719, 2 right turns, taxi via Papa Charlie, Charlie 5, monitor point 9 on the way. Sierra's current NAM status, wind 1308, NAM altimeter 3003.
Jazz 719 is actually an Embraer E175 from Toronto. It's an Air Canada Express ERJ flown by Jazz Aviation. They like to arrive on the north side. We don't really see them here from the viewing area on 30 left or 12 right. However, there have been times where Jazz Aviation, flying for Air Canada, has either arrived or departed on the widest runway at MSP Airport. 12 right, 30 left is the widest runway here at MSP Airport. It's 200 feet wide. The standard width here in the U.S. is 150 feet for airports of this size. All the other runways here at MSP Airport, which includes the North Parallel and the North-South runway on the west side of the airport, also known as 1735, those runways, and even 422, the crosswind runway that's seldom used here, all of those runways are 150 feet wide. Carl Shield 1, good evening from Ireland. Well, good afternoon from the Twin Cities of Minnesota, right back at you. Thanks for tuning in here on the Saturday afternoon. Alex Redding along with Logan Justice on the camera. Super excited to be back on the air. It's a little frustrating getting going here from MSP Airport knowing that we had a little network issue, but of course, after recycling of some device settings, we look to be smooth sailing into the evening hours from the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota.
Section 343, we got a little time rolled on the Whiskey 5, straight north mail, sir.
I'm muted.
All right, now we're going to welcome in the second member of our broadcast crew on the headset, Logan Justice. How are you doing this weekend?
Fantastic. How are you? Good afternoon, folks. Hope you all are having a good one.
And I will second that myself. It's been a much better day now that the sun has come out and the stream is stabilized. Can't wait to see what the rest of this broadcast is going to bring. It should be a good one.
Yeah, as long as the sun stays out, we should be pretty much set. Got enough heavies to keep everybody occupied, and the Houston Rockets is certainly a worthy highlight, and it'll be a good finale too.
I am super excited to see the Houston Rockets 767 if it comes in during the daytime when we're able to catch it.
Last I checked, it was estimated about 450, so we should get it.
Oh boy, here we go. One World. One World going back to Dallas, Fort Worth. This is a 737-800 that's painted for the American Airlines banner, as well as the One World Alliance that they are a part of. Oh, there we go. Delta A321neo arrival is stealing the show from One World. This is 910 from Seattle.
What's the gate today?
Go 14.
910, angle left turn Alpha to Gulf 14, monitor point 906.
Left turn Alpha to go 14, 10, ground today, don't mind it.
So, Logan, we've had a very interesting week here at MSP Airport. Talk about that, because you were out here the last 2 days. This is now the third consecutive day that you've been out here. What have you been doing out here for all this time? You're typically not out here this often. What brings you out?
Raptors, and more Raptors. There have been a whole slew of them, I think 6 in total, and it's actually now my 4th day in a row out here, which, am I setting records or not? I don't keep track of it, but yeah, I've been out here.
What, did Oshkosh come early to Minneapolis, St. Paul?
Right?
That's what I want to know.
And it's like I was almost contemplating, like, not even bothering going out. It's like, oh, I saw them with Oshkosh, but it's like they haven't been to MSU before ever, so it's kind of one of those things where, you know, you just go and see it just because of that occasion alone.
Well, the other thing too about it is that there were unrestricted climbs.
Yes, and those you do not see here very, very often. Now, on occasion, MSP is treated to unrestricted climbs from the T-38 Talons to do training flights here, but to see the F-22 do it, that's a whole different deal.
All right, we're going to see if One World is going to go off of runway 12, right? And she is.
And it's not gray on gray overcast, too.
Here we go. American One World going back to Dallas.
Stay on them and see if they punch into the overcast frame still. I wonder how low are the ceilings right now. Let's find out.
I took back to the wide shot, Logan. So you are all clear.
American 1439, turn right heading 230 and contact.
So just in case, if you folks are wondering why we have a multicam setup here at MSP Airport, because of the fences here at the viewing area, we need the height to get a clear shot over the fence of the aircraft departing and arriving and taxiing and so forth. So we have to rely on the use of this camera right here. That's the static cam, and there's our little motorized pan and tilt head that we recently rolled out into production today. This allows us to cut back to something that's safe and stable while we get up for the, or we set up for the next shot.
In other words, I don't have to stand in place holding the camera up for 4 hours straight.
The other thing for me, too, is it kind of gets exhausting looking at just one camera for an extended period of time. Just something
Absolutely.
interesting to give our audience.
You know, the only thing we can't really do with it, at least yet anyway, is zoom in and out with it. So we're stuck on one zoom setting, but we can still move it around all over the place, which is the important thing, you know.
Now, you can with cameras of a much higher grade. They have a very small port on the side of the camera. It depends on who makes the camera and a bunch of different things, but there is a control cable port on the side of the camera that you can actually attach a zoom rocker to a tripod handle, and then you just plug in the cable from that into the camera directly, so you can control the zoom.
See, if I was ever using a tripod, I'd want to be able to use it from that zoom rocker stick, because otherwise, your ability to really keep things smooth, it's tricky because both your hands are occupied. If you can do it with one hand, it's a little bit easier, but I've always preferred to go handheld, and you know, we're not upgrading any crazy cameras for zoom. We're just using my old 4K one that I used to use before I upgraded, so that's what that camera is. It's my old one.
767 Maps Tower, wind 1407, I want you right, quite a line.
It's captured many memories in Logan Justice's spotting adventures over the years, including some of his most popular uploads on his personal YouTube channel, Twin Cities Aviator. Go ahead and check it out. He's got some really cool long-form raw content if you're the kind of person that just wants to see it raw, just wants to hear the sights and sounds of aviation with maybe a little scanner audio in there from time to time. He's got a lot of cool Oshkosh stuff up on the channel too. You should go check it out. Twin Cities Aviator on YouTube.
Thanks for the plug, Alex. I appreciate it.
You bet. I'm always plugging for my peeps over here.
Oh, is that my car? Did I press the keys? Nice. Wait, is that my car? Oh, it is my car. I put my phone in my right pocket, my keys are in the left pocket. How'd they even get pressed? What? Like, no, I'm genuinely confused. I went to go put my phone in my right pocket, but my keys are in the left one. I don't know how I got pressed. I don't know.
There's some live laughs.
I was like, wait a second. Is that my car? Hold on.
I didn't think it was your car for a second.
It should never be my car. You know how much I hate honking cars at the viewing area because I do video. What the heck?
Oh my goodness. I think that's the funniest moment that we've had on stream so far to date.
Arguably.
Logan Justice setting off by accident his car alarm.
Somehow.
Oh boy.
Just got some new added viewers.
What are the spotters that's right next to us letting us know that we've got some new added viewers? Thanks for the heads up. Now, I know I've already mentioned it. It's been a busy day with the traffic here for a Saturday at MSP, but it's also been quite rather busy at the viewing area.
I suppose it is a Saturday afternoon, but I mean, it's almost, well, like 3/4 full? I can't tell because I'm looking the other way, but...
I'd say that's a pretty close estimate. I'd say closer to 2/3, but...
Even 2/3 for a regular Saturday with nothing else going on. Like, I know the Houston Rockets are coming, but is that it? I don't know.
Could be. Who knows?
3045, parking at West Cargo or the hangar today.
All right, operated by Pacific Southwest Airlines, headed to DCA. It's JIA 5593.
Is that a pencil I see? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. It's a 757-200 from Tampa, Florida. It's Delta 767.
Double 767, what's the gate today? Golf 22. 767 Alpha 4, if you got it, then Alpha to Golf 22, just monitor .9, see.
Alpha 4, Alpha, monitor .907.
Good day.
Yeah, good day, Delta 767 from Tampa with a 757-200. It'd actually be kind of cool to see a Delta 767 on Delta Flight 767 to the Twin Cities. It would be more than appropriate if that were the case. Unfortunately, no equipment upgrades today, but still flying on a 757 is a positive thing no matter how you look at it from an AvGeek's perspective, because they have the best power-to-weight ratio in the aviation industry with commercial aviation. Those jets are overpowered.
323 Sierra Yankee, yep, Charlie and Sierra, cross 1-2 right.
Charlie, Sierra, cross 1.
It's like a sports car.
I was 323.
I think that's the most valid thing to compare it to. The 7.5s are ridiculous. Once they're like, if they're empty, the climb gradient you get with those is ridiculous. You think like they're gonna stall when they take off from here. Like, actually, if you want to go to me real quick, like if they're going off 1-2 right, I've seen them empty before, right? Gaining speed right, and I've seen them rotate like here. I mean, they climb out so sharply. They're rockets. I mean, that's a good term for it.
They're the F-22 Raptors of the Delta fleet, if you want to put it that way, too.
South Main is 30 or 323 Sierra Yankee, ground .9, let's do.
Oh, he's just going to a hangar.
Ground .9, 323 Sierra Yankee.
Alpha 1543, only 17, line up and away.
Yeah, so this Embraer here is just going over to the hangars for maintenance, which is why there's no actual like flight number attached to it. It's just the registration number, which is a in general aviation kind of thing, which is kind of weird to hear coming from a Delta jet.
I want to say it's a SkyWest Embraer, but I know that Endeavor Air has one E175 LR. All right, here's Smurf Jet. Whoa!
He planted that down. He was like kind of wobbling and hard stop too. Are you gonna make Mike? No way.
459 Minneapolis Tower with 1406.
Wow. And that's
I honestly
the
don't know what to
shortest
say.
737 landing I've ever seen. That was impressive. He was trying to plant it down earlier, that's why. Wow.
Tower 1543, wind 1406, fly runway heading, runway 17, quick pickup. Bluetooth 5593, contact departure, sit.
There's no way he wasn't empty. That was wild.
There's never a dull moment out here at MSP Airport.
No, there's really not.
One of the most underrated airports here in the country. And we're also super blessed to have one of the best spotting or viewing areas on the continent as well. There's not a lot of places like MSP's viewing area, especially when you consider the location of it being smack dab in the middle of the airport.
Turn right, heading 215 and contact departure, good day.
Earlier, when the sun first came out, it kind of seemed like there was just one little hole in the overcast, but as time is going on, it looks like it's actually really breaking up and not just one little hole passing by, which is good. We want some sunlight. Oh, we got I believe it's the United Max 9 on final right now too.
That plane's reputation has gone through the media meat grinder as of recent.
Minneapolis Tower, runway 17, turn left, heading 140. United 459, 2 left turns, join Alpha and contact ground point honor.
2 left turns, Alpha, point 9 United.
United 459 with the MAX 9 just arrived on runway 12 right, in case you missed it. With a wardrobe malfunction on the number 2 engine. It's also one of those MAX 9s not currently painted in United's Evo blue livery, which I just really adore. All right, here's the 737-800 taxiing on Mike, making its way out of MSP for LAX. This is Delta Flight 1468.
The lighting from this angle is stellar. Right down through the engines too.
You think it's good now, just wait till later in the year when we're out here for longer in the evenings. It's going to get even more dreamy than
I'm
this.
looking forward to my 8:30 p.m. sunsets.
Likewise.
Delta 2534 is with you 12 west, going to G4.
2534, Minneapolis Tower, wind 130 at 5, runway 12 right, clear to land.
Clear to land 12 right, Delta 2534.
We got our Swissport fuel truck on the move. On the service road, just passing in front of the viewing area moments ago, there is Swissport. The folks over there are always hard at work. Probably some of you are thinking, well, who isn't hard at work over here? It's an airport. Come on, Alex. Everyone's hustling around here.
Where's some overcast? Screw that. Keep the overcast. Here. Gross.
Sorry about that, folks. Try to get the live chat working here, which kind of explains the silence there momentarily. Having some keying issues. We hope to get that sorted out here relatively soon. I want to bring up some of your comments.
68, fly runway heading, runway 12 right. I'm sorry, runway 17, cleared for takeoff.
Harris C42 sitting at the MSP viewing area watching this stream. It's pretty meta. Well, thank you very much. And every time we're out here, we try and do the best that we can to bring people a production of high production value. And we also think about it, if we were watching it and our approach to doing our productions out here, what do we want to see? And both Logan and I were pretty big sticklers for quality, and so we want to pass that along to you. Of course, no broadcast is going to be perfect, Exhibit A being earlier this afternoon, and this broadcast in general, but for us, it's about improving each week and putting out the best that we can. So we appreciate that you folks are enjoying it, for the folks of you that are. And thank you for letting us know.
It's great.
Logan Justice putting on the headset once again.
Got to stay hydrated, folks.
Same here, too. Should probably go get my water bottle at some point here
You
and
should.
lube the pipes. All right, arriving from Las Vegas, it's still to 2534 with a 737-900 ER. Nate the Great says KLM 777s, March 31st, Aer Lingus, April 29th, Air France, May 13th, and Lufthansa on June 4th. You're absolutely correct. And that was recent news that came out regarding the KLM summer schedule to MSP Airport. Normally it would have been a Dreamliner, but KLM wanted the extra capacity from Amsterdam to MSP in return, so they swapped it out permanently on the schedule with the 777-200ER. So again, more good news trickles in regarding spotting variety and aircraft movements here at MSP Airport, and just the diversity of service that our lovely airport is getting more and more of.
Yeah, talking about diversity, this summer is probably going to be one of the most diverse and, well, you got almost like colorful. I mean, except for Lefty, because, it's just like black and white. But, I mean, we're going to have Condor, we're going to have Icelandair, we're going to have KLM, Air France, goodness, what else? Aer Lingus, too.
110
Yeah.
runway 12 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, 12 right,
And this summer is going to be outstanding.
I'm most excited for Aer Lingus. They have a gorgeous livery. Their new one's okay, but I'm talking the one that's going to be sported on the A330-200s they're going to be sending over here.
Is it the 200?
Yep, the A330-200.
Yeah, I think we've only gotten a single one, just one. I don't know exactly why they brought it just the one time, but it was before COVID. I want to say they were like trying to test out the gate that was being modified for it, but don't quote me on that.
Delta, 2 right, continue Delta to Quebec. For Skywest Maintenance 323 Syria.
Now we've got an A220 on the move on taxiway Mike.
Skywest Maintenance 3 Sierra Yankee, monitor ground 121.9er.
121.9er, Skywest Maintenance 323 Sierra Yankee.
Good to see an A220 getting a nice close taxi in right by the viewing area. Love seeing that jet every single time it shows itself. Off to Atlanta, Georgia. It's 2102 with a 737-900 ER.
Runway 17, fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Now arriving from Chicago Midway. It's Southwest Flight 2837.
Southwest 2837, 2 right turns, taxi Whiskey Delta to park, monitor ground point hunter.
2 right turns, Whiskey Delta to park, ground point hunter, Southwest 2837.
Delta 2102, runway 17, turn left heading 140, clear for takeoff. Delta 345, turn right heading 215, contact departure, good flight.
All right, Nate the Great's got a question for us, Logan. He says, what is your guys' take on Chicago Midway? Worst designed airport runway layout or smartest designed runway layout? I have not been to Midway, so I really don't have much of a view on it, but Logan, what do you say?
I'm going to be totally honest. I do not even know what the design layout of Midway is, so let me go ahead and take a look at it. Hang on.
Elizabeth AJA, thank you so much. Photography keeps getting better and better. Love the pans, zooms, cuts. Love all the airport vehicles. We do too. We're also very excited to see things continually improve content-wise, and thank you for the feedback on your end. Much appreciated. You know, people are more likely to say something negative than positive, so we very much appreciate really everyone's comments here this afternoon, engaging in our live broadcast. Also, feel free to share it with folks that are interested in aviation that you know well or you think could use some afternoon entertainment.
So looking at the layout for Midway, it's just like the Knuckle Blaine Airport, but it's tilted 45 degrees, and you have double the runway. So it would seem that it's made to have departures on one of the runways, parallel, and then arrivals on the other one, if it was busy enough. So, I mean, it certainly seems interesting, but I can't speak to how it would be operationally. I've never flown out of it before. This is a very interesting question, though. It's actually my first time even seeing the layout of Midway. I've never even looked at it up close. Oh, we got a Neo pushing back. Check that out.
This A321neo is pushing back off to Phoenix, Arizona. I know at the end of last year, Logan, you were in Phoenix.
I was actually just down there earlier last month, and I laughed because it was snowing when I parked at Biscuit.
1006, runway 12 right, clear to left.
It is what it is. No, Phoenix was beautiful, though, as always. You have hot and then not so hot, and in this case, it's winter, so it's not so hot.
For sure. This A321-200 is off to San Diego, California, with 309 Delta November in charge. This is a 7-year-old Airbus A321. Minneapolis Aviation, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys going out here and filming. It's very entertaining.
My pleasure.
You bet, absolutely. Well, it's a great day for it. Why wouldn't you be out enjoying the nice weather if you live in the Twin Cities area?
Minneapolis Tower, runway 12 left.
It's got an ex-Northwest A319 on the move, bound for Houston. This aircraft is in charge of Delta Flight 509. We also got a SkyWest house livery CRJ on the move over there as well. There she is. This is SkyWest Flight 4254 off to Rhinelander, Wisconsin. That's in the northern part of the state. That's way up there. And departing off runway 12 left is Delta 518 for Bismarck with a 737-900ER. That's larger equipment than what I'm used to seeing on that particular route, if I'm not mistaken, Logan.
Minneapolis Tower, good afternoon, runway 12 left, fly runway.
You know, it might be. I want to say, I'd have to look at the exact flight number, but it might have been a thing for the past month or so.
Turn left heading 105 and contact the
But I can't confirm. I don't know what the flight number is.
If that is the case, I don't know why I'm just noticing this now, but hey, you know. Got to find out sometime, right? All right, here we go, another sunny.
Arrival, wind 1107, runway 12 left, clear to land.
From SJD at Sun Country 548.
Delta 509, Minneapolis Tower, Mike, cross runway 12 right, turn right on whiskey.
I think cross 12 right at Mike, right on whiskey for Delta 509.
There's our Delta A319 bound for Houston. Having to hold short of runway 12 right for the arriving Sun Country Tide Pod 737-800.
1611 Minneapolis Tower at Charlie, cross runway 12 right.
And now it's clear to cross.
On Charlie, cross water right on whiskey and cross runway 4, Delta 1611.
Sun Country 548, Whiskey Delta to park, monitor down, point under, good day.
Whiskey Delta, point under, monitor.
trailing Flight 509 bound for Houston is another ex-Northwest jet. It's a slightly larger Airbus A320. It's November 325 Uniform Sierra. It's a 32-year-old jet, by the way, delivered to Northwest in December of 1991. It's a big contrast to this jet right here as we jump back to the A319 for a moment, bound for Houston. That aircraft was delivered to Northwest in 2003 in April of that year. It's 20 years old.
Delta 1572, Minneapolis Tower, Charlie, cross runway 12 right, turn right on Whiskey, cross runway 4.
All right, clear to cross 12 right on Charlie, join Whiskey, clear to cross runway 4 for Delta 1572.
Sky West 4254.
Traffic starting to really pick up here at MSP Airport as we're working ourselves into rush hour. And this A321neo is destined for Orlando, Florida.
Sky West 3888, Minneapolis Tower, 6 in trail of a 737, wind 120 at 6, runway 12 left, clear to land.
Well, folks, if you like the Delta A321neos, there's one trailing this off to Phoenix that's in charge of 1572. And that's Flight 1572.
Pier 3546, Minneapolis Tower at Mike, cross runway 12 right, turn right on Whiskey behind you, Airbus ahead and to your left.
All right, cross 12 right on Mike, turn right on Whiskey behind the bus from the left for Pier 3546.
Delta 509, runway 17, fly runway heading, clear for takeoff.
All right, runway 17, it's runway heading and clear for takeoff, Delta 509.
Delta 1203, your discretion, runway 17, line of point.
Line up and wait 17, Delta 1203.
Going to be making the right-hand turn, joining taxiway Whiskey. In just a couple of seconds, Republic Flight 3546 with an Embraer 175 LR off to Chicago O'Hare. There she is. Boy, aren't you looking spiffy in your Evo Blue paint scheme, you. Love that livery. Who else in the chat loves the United Evo Blue livery? I know that I'm a big fan. It's a much-needed refresh. It was long overdue when it came out. But I just love how the two-tone blue sits, in addition to the gray and then the blue accenting, the blue engines.
Left heading 120,
Very classy.
17, clear for takeoff.
Left turn heading 120, clear for takeoff, 17, Delta 1203.
Delta 1669, turn right on Papa, contact ground point honor. Delta 1611, runway 17, line of point. Endeavor 4932, Minneapolis Tower at Mike, cross runway 12 right, turn right on Whiskey.
At Mike, cross 12 right, and then right on Whiskey.
For those of you that heard that cough was not pleasant. I'm not sick.
Contact departure.
215 on the heading over departure. Good day.
I had something go down the wrong pipe.
West 3975, Minneapolis Tower, Mike, cross.
I'm okay.
Right, turn right on Whiskey.
Mike, cross 12 right.
Delta 1611, turn left heading 140, runway 17, clear for takeoff. Delta 1572, runway 17, line up away.
Hans Schwab. Well, welcome to MSP Airport Live. Hello, everyone watching in Amsterdam. Nice to see a new stream.
Delta 12
You bet. We'll try and be out here once a week, depending on crew availability. With the weather up here in the state of Minnesota for February, and even at the end of the month of January, unseasonably warm. You can thank El Nino for that.
Unit at 467 Minneapolis Tower, wind 1006, runway 12 left, clear to land.
Jay Smith, thank you for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon. My sister works for the Metropolitan Airports Commission, or MAC for short, and she says she knows you two watching from sunny, warm Florida. Well, I'd love to trade places. I'd like to be down in Florida right now enjoying that nice weather. Well, you enjoy that, Jay, and you enjoy your weekend, too.
Delta 1572, fly runway heading, runway 17, clear for takeoff. Air 3546, runway 17, lot of point.
Thomas Simi, thanks for tuning in. I'm from the Cloquet, Duluth area and appreciate this live stream so much. You bet. It's our pleasure.
How's the snow up there? I'm looking to go up at some point soon.
The 1611, fly heading 140, contact departure, good flight.
I'd definitely like to hit up Giants Ridge in Biwabik, Minnesota. That's all the way up in the Iron Range north of Duluth.
Skywest 3975.
From what I know, there's a lot of hiking trails up there too. I need to go check them out when the weather gets nicer. I know it's beautiful down here, but I want to say it's like semi-melted snow.
My favorite spot to go hiking up north of Duluth is on the Superior hiking trails through Tetegucci State Park.
Good to know.
That is one of the best scenic places to visit. If you're ever in northern Minnesota, if you're ever staying here in Minnesota, go to Tetegucci State Park. It's a little bit of a drive when you arrive in Duluth, but it is well worth it. There's a lot of hiking trails in and around that area, as one would come to find. Tetegucci State Park, there are some just gorgeous spots to take in the rugged terrain of the northern Minnesota scenery and of the Lake Superior North Shore, too.
Nice, very nice.
There's a lot of good places to stay up there, too. I know I stayed at Cove Point Lodge one year. That's a good place to check out. And also there were some cottages at Larsmont.
Oh, very cool.
Minnesota Motors asks, when will you be going live until? Well, we plan on sticking around until 5 p.m. or so. Planning to catch the Houston Rockets 767-300ER. Not that we've already mentioned it already. Also, KLM 655 Heavy will be arriving from Amsterdam, too.
They're on final right now.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah,
wow.
they just turned final. And they're on our side, too. So.
They are early today.
Yeah, their schedule's kind of weird. They usually land around like 7 p.m., but there's a few days. I forget which one. Oh, it must be...
LM655 Heavy, Minneapolis Tower.
Oh, here they are, actually.
5.5 and trail of an Airbus. Wind 080 at 6. Runway 12 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, 12 right. Number 2, LM655 Heavy.
Yeah, it might be every Saturday that they do the early arrival. It's supposed to be 4, but yeah, as you stated, they're super early today, which is nice.
Sun Country 617, fly runway heading, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
And the overcast is all but gone. There's like a little bit to the northeast, but otherwise, I mean, I'm looking every other direction, there's nothing. So, it'll be a nice sunset, that's for sure, and sun will stay out for a while, help keep us warm.
Absolutely.
Now, I forget which 330's heading out here soon, but I know we got one. I'm trying to tell which jet bridge is pulled back. I don't know which one it is. And I know that's not the one on the far left. That's the 200 for Delta 10 later.
Endeavor 4932, contact departure, good day.
Folks, we have a new segment that we're eager to roll out this week.
Turn left heading 140.
It's a part of our
17, clear for takeoff.
spotter guide graphics packages. We're going to find out a little bit more about the aircraft that is on final from Amsterdam Schiphol International. And that being KLM 655 Heavy with an A330-200. It's time for our spotter guides presented by DG Pilot, the purveyor of gifts for the aviation and travel enthusiasts. That's the bird that's on final right now. It's behind a Delta flight. Cruising speed of 531 miles an hour. Just over 7,000 miles of range. Powered by a couple of GE CF6 series turbofan engines. And a wingspan of 197 feet 10 inches, length of 191 feet 6 inches. KLM flying the A330s regularly during the winter season here to Minneapolis, St. Paul, and the A332 gets the assignment. So there's a look at the KLM A330-200 with our spotter guides presented by DG Pilot, the purveyor of gifts for the aviation and travel enthusiast.
75, fly heading 140, contact departure, good day. 1533, turn left, join Alpha and contact ground point honor.
Have a nice day, though. 1533.
Potential aircraft to Minneapolis Rebel Hotel, departure Tango now current, altimeter 3003.
Crossing runway 1 to your right and joining Whiskey in just moments is the next Northwest A320 off to LaGuardia in New York in charge of Flight 2266.
Use my ladder right there if you want to use that. Oh, that's an extra one. You can grab that, go for it. Sorry, I should have mentioned that earlier. Yeah, you can borrow that.
All right, here we go. Here's KLM 655 Heavy from Amsterdam Schiphol.
Southwest 73 from the left.
Absolute sequence behind the Southwest Delta 2108.
Southwest 775, Minneapolis Tower, good afternoon. Flying the sequence behind the first Delta Airbus from the right. Dear Flight 236, Minneapolis Tower, good afternoon. Hatchway triple previous arrival with the heavy Airbus. Wind at 070.
Listen to the roar of the CF6 engines with reverse thrust to slow 655 Heavy down on the runway so it can make the turn off onto the taxiway and head towards G Concourse, where it will deposit its payload of travelers that have made the trip from overseas to the Twin Cities. Welcome to Minneapolis, St. Paul, KLM 655 Heavy. The A330-200 in charge of 655 Heavy to the Twin Cities tonight is a 17-year-old jet delivered in 2006, and it was delivered in July of that year. The registration on it is Papa Hotel-Alpha Oscar Echo. There's Oscar Echo.
Southwest 775, runway 17, line up and wait.
Also got a very quick pushback for a Delta A330.
Definitely empty, not pushing back to go somewhere other than another gate. I would not be surprised if this one's getting out of the way for
Minneapolis Tower, runway 12 left, line up and wait.
Also a wardrobe malfunction.
Very well pointed out. Available wide-body gates at Concourse G have come at a premium. MSP Airport last year unveiled radical plans to expand G Concourse and the number of wide-body gates here at MSP. It's much needed.
Envoy 3931, 2 right turns, contact ground point niner. That's 4262 Minneapolis Tower, wind 070 runway 12 right, clear to land. Southwest 775, fly runway heading, runway 17, clear for takeoff. Delta 1315, fly runway heading, runway 12 left, cleared for takeoff. Delta 2108, runway 17, line of point. Delta 2266, fly heading 120, contact departure, good flight.
Heading 120, you guys have a great day.
Dynamics, thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. Loving the weather, well, we are too. Living down in Rochester. Glad that you're able to spend some time with us. You're on this Saturday for live plane spotting from the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Frontier Flight 236 arriving from Cancun, Mexico with an A321.
I continue with you, so 17.
MSP is starting to see a little bit more of Frontier's biggest Airbus.
Delta 2108, turn left heading 120, runway 17, clear for takeoff. Delta 1315, turn left heading 105. Southwest 775, turn right heading 215, then contact departure. Delta 1315, contact departure, good day. Tier 236, taxi via Whiskey and Delta, monitor ground point niner is to go, good day.
Julia Kading, thank you so much.
605, Minneapolis Tower.
My kids and I love this channel at the spotting area. I'm glad you're able to check it out. It's a good day to do it too with all the great weather. Thank you so much, Julia.
Delta 1166, continue via Whiskey, hold short of Kilo 8. I've got no one behind you for now, but I might need to move you off onto that taxiway.
All right, with the hold short of Kilo 8 and
Colonel Shield 1.
So we'll need a couple minutes before we're ready for
Delta are starting Dublin flights in May. Yes, and that is in direct response to Aer Lingus
0707, runway 12 left,
announcing the restart of service after a very long hiatus
2108, contact departure, good day.
to MSP Airport, traveling from Dublin, its hub. It'll be excellent to see the Irish flag carrier and hear that Shamrock call sign again. Pushing back from the gate at G-Con courses, Delta 160 Heavy, as you can see there on your screen, bound for Amsterdam. So then A330neo. And arriving from Amsterdam, pulling into the gate, is KLM 655 Heavy, as you can see there. Fresh arrival on runway 12 right with the SkyWest house livery. It's SkyWest Flight 4262 with his CRJ 700.
Sun Country 605, turn right heading 215, contact
This flight came in from Aberdeen.
Here's a taste of the storm.
Delta 283 Minneapolis Tower, good afternoon, wind 080 at 7, runway 12 right, clear to land.
Yeah, the winds are blowing towards us in relation to Terminal 1, so we get a bit of a taste of the audio for the engine start.
Don't know if you folks are able to pick it up from here, but we definitely heard that engine start over here at the viewing area. I think we felt a little bit of it. That's how close we are to the action. Even though that Terminal 1 is a ways away, we still feel it over here a little bit. Those Trent 7000 engines are something else, I'll tell you what.
Here's the next one. You hear that low rumble of the bass. It's pretty subtle, but
can't imagine what the sound on the inside sounds like with that A330neo starting both Trent 7000 engines. That deep harmonic rumble. Soothing to the ears of AvGeeks, probably not the public at large, but I'll tell you what, that's such a cool sound to hear. And if you're close enough, feel it.
Delta 1166, I'll have no one behind you up to, hold short of runway 17, I'll roll you in about 5 minutes.
Alright, hold short of 17 and copy that to 1166.
Nate the Great, yes, I do agree. Spring is going to be very exciting for MSP, and we're also excited here at MSP Airport Live because crew availability could open up. But the main reason we're excited is, in addition to the stuff coming back, it's the extra sunlight that we're going to be getting throughout the course of the day. Here's Delta 283 from Cancun with a 737-900ER.
Delta 283, turn left, join Alpha, contact ground point 9er.
Left, join Alpha, ground point 9, Delta 283.
Jeff Ayers says, in regards to runway 1735, that's the runway on the west side of MSP Airport. Does anyone else still call it the north-south runway? Just me? Nope, it's not just you. I call it the north-south runway.
Runway 12 right, clear to land.
A lot of other folks still call it the north-south runway around the MSP aviation scene here, so you are not alone, Jeff. Now, for any of you plane spotters out there, the best location to spot 1735 that you can access, or that's publicly accessible, would be Purple Ramp, which is the south ramp at Terminal 2. And it's on the level just before the top level. And in the corner, there's no structural posts or anything, so you get this amazing high-up panoramic view of 1735. And also, in the uber rare chance that runway 4 is active, you'll see stuff on runway 4, but you'll see everything in front of Terminal 2 from there. And now, when it comes to lighting, it's really only feasible in the morning because the rest of the day it's going to be backlit from around 11 a.m. onwards. Dennis Harvey, thank you so much for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon. Loving the clarity of these images from MSP. Thank you. And from Manchester, UK, all the way across the pond. I know that Manchester has a really good airport for spotting. All right, we got a BizJet on 12 right arriving. That little guy will be headed off to Signature. And Signature is just off of runway 12 right, 30 left.
6, turn right at Whiskey 7, taxi Whiskey 6 into Signature, monitor ground point honor. Affirmative. Delta 1166, runway 17, line of point.
The national anthem, we can barely hear it at the viewing area. I'm not sure if you're picking it up on our broadcast, but Fort Snelling Air Base on the north side of MSP, they are doing a roll call or something over there. They got the national anthem playing on their loudspeakers, and it's something that you will hear in the afternoon quite frequently. We want to give a big thank you to all of our National Guard servicemen and women for all that they do.
Amen to that.
Yeah. It's definitely been an interesting week for them, I'm sure, as it has been for us on the AvGeek side of things with those F-22 Raptor visits. And we're going to take a look at Delta 160 Heavy there with the A330neo in charge.
Not my car this time.
Not Logan's car this time.
That's now the second car alarm that's gone off during our broadcast. I'll be honest, it's been kind of a weird day today, but it's weird in an interesting way, not necessarily in a bad way, as we have a Sun Country arrival on runway 12 right. This is Sun Country 712 from Belize City. '809 Sierra Yankee was the registration on that 737.
Sun Country 712, 2 right.
It's painted in what's known as the delivery scheme. It goes back to the start of the millennium when Sun Country was rocking that, when they just started to get the 737s.
Delta 1166, turn right heading 215, contact departure. There.
Now American 725.
Lavistad, closest spotting location that I've seen anywhere.
American 725.
There's probably some that are closer, but I know that we are super, super close.
12 right, clear to land, American 725.
And the nice part about the location of the aircraft viewing area here at MSP Airport,
Cross runway 12 right, turn right on Whiskey.
in addition to being super close to the action, we're in a very good spot with how far we are down on runway 12 right, where they literally will plant the gear, the main gear, in front of us, almost dead set with the cameras, or our eyeballs, depending on what you choose to do with your spotting adventures. And the takeoffs when they're heading the opposite way on runway 30 left. Well, you feel every single takeoff, every narrow body, every wide body. It's quite an adventure out here, and there's never a dull moment. It makes the more common stuff, the usual suspects, seem a lot more interesting. And we're very blessed to have access to a facility such as this. Big shout out to MAC.
Country 107, Minneapolis Tower.
And MAC is the Metropolitan Airports Commission. For those of you who are not familiar with the term around here at MSP Airport, MAC is the governing body that operates MSP Airport and other airports around the metro. Off to Dallas, Fort Worth, it's American Flight 2104 with a 737-800. Taxiing in front of us on Whiskey.
We good? It's just hot or what?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe set it upright so it catches the wind a little bit. Maybe. And maybe, I don't know.
Currently trying to monitor our internet connectivity.
04, Minneapolis Tower, ready to go.
Alrighty, American 2104.
Arriving on 12 right, American 725 from Miami.
17, quick takeoff, American 2104.
3107, terrain, 215, contact departure.
Got another A330 Neo getting a tow.
0905. 725, turn left, contact ground 19er.
It would be super cool if they were able to bring it down this way, I'll tell you what. Country Flight 572 arriving from Cancun, Mexico with a Tide Pod livery 737-800.
572, turn right at Whiskey 5, taxi via Whiskey Delta to Park, monitor point
And this A330 Neo
Whiskey 5, Whiskey
going
Delta
to Tech Ops.
Sun Country 572.
The hangars in the Delta Tech Ops maintenance facilities on the south side of MSP Airport. If you're driving along Highway 494, you'll see it. It's in plain view. It's right on the side of the highway.
What was that? Sweet. You have an amazing rest of your day. Good to see you. Stay warm.
I'll pull some stuff.
Good stuff. See ya. We doing all right? We're good. Okay.
Logan asking if the stream is still doing healthy. It's something that we've been anxious about. It's been an itch for us the entire day. So in the background, you can see the two tall buildings attached to the Mall of America, the largest mall in the United States. One of those structures is the JW Marriott Hotel. All right, we got an arriving Mad Pup. It's a Boeing 717.
Turn left at Alpha 7, contact ground point enter.
Turn Alpha 7, ground point. Good day, Delta 1130.
Aren't those bucket reversers the coolest thing? I'll tell you what. I enjoyed my first and second trips aboard the 717. Back at the end of last year, traveled down to Charlotte and back. The aircraft that I flew out on was the registration of November 936 Alpha Tango, which, by the way, that aircraft, and I looked this up according to the public records made available, that aircraft has the distinction of being the very first aircraft delivered to TWA in 2000.
Is that what that one is?
It was 936 Alpha Tango. That's the registration on the jet that I flew on.
Oh, sweet.
This is 998 Alpha Tango that just landed, that Logan was asking about. It'd be very cool to see 936 Alpha Tango on the broadcast. That aircraft then went to work for AirTran, and it was painted in a special livery, painted up for the Indianapolis Colts NFL football team. And then after Southwest acquired AirTran, the jet went into service with Delta, where it's been ever since. And the aircraft we're talking about is November 936 Alpha Tango.
12 right. 1017, Minneapolis, Star, the wind 09, 6, runway 12 right, clear to land.
12 right, clear to land, Delta 1017.
The 717 that I flew back from Charlotte to MSP on was November 971 Alpha Tango. I had a great flight crew on the trip up from North Carolina back home to Minnesota. Big shout out to Captain Jeff and First Officer Josh for their hospitality and just getting to chat with them after the flight. Very cool, very much thank them for their time and their busy schedule to chat with an aviation enthusiast like myself. And if you're watching this live broadcast, hope you're doing mighty fine on this weekend, wherever you might be.
722 Minneapolis, Charlie, wind 0905, flighting 100, correction, flighting 105, runway 12 left, clear for takeoff. 722, okay, guys, ready.
Yeah, I don't even think they were in the forecast this morning. They just popped up. I don't know what the hell a 160 is doing over there.
Yeah, they're just sitting there for a long time.
Here, I can take them on and I can use it to keep my hands up.
No, it's just the...
It's brisk.
274 Minneapolis Tower, Charlie, cross runway 12 right, taxi whiskey and cross runway 4, traffic on the 3-mile funnel.
Whiskey right, Charlie, then whiskey, clear to cross runway 22 to
Secretary 363 Minneapolis Tower, wind 0905, flighting 150, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
See, it's handling its affairs, but see a little bit stable street. We haven't dropped the frame though, which has been excellent because there's built-in safeguards to protect against that stuff. So I'm satisfied with it for the moment. I'm stroking it. See what I can do throughout the week to working a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, it's so far it's doing alright. This one have to call the customer service.
That's 722, flighting 105, runway 12 left, clear for takeoff. Delta 274, be sure to wave at the spotter spark off the left there. They're doing a nice live stream right now.
Just plugging us.
Imagine that. Quite the shout out from MSP Tower. What's up, MSP Tower? How you doing?
The other side of that tiny little square building.
Oh yeah, we got it.
They got a little table with their laptop and camera, the whole setup.
Hey, just quick pilot for 10-17. Got a bunch of birds at 500 feet on final.
Roger.
So what you just heard, known as a PIREP or a pilot report, birds are always a problem at MSP Airport. And apparently there's some birds within 500 feet of final.
Contact departure.
Good to know. Thank you for the heads up.
Excuse me. The RNAV is 730 Minneapolis Airlines 005, runway 12 right, clear to land. Runway 12 left, land. Turn left Alpha 5, join Alpha, start towards the gate, column ground, point 9er, traffic's waiting for you.
Left Alpha 5. Alpha 5, left on Alpha.
Was not expecting that, Logan.
Jazz 722,
Not expecting what?
105, contact
Birds
departure.
Special
what?
thanks to the folks up in the control
yes.
tower here at MSP
Yes, that
for the
is
big shout out.
amazing.
I want to say that's Joe Check.
It's gotta be. There's no way. I mean, unless there's somebody else who's as enthusiastic as he is.
274 Minneapolis Tower, wind 005, fly heading of 135, runway 17, clear for takeoff. .274. Delta 274, affirmative, flighting 135, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
All right, there's Delta 160 Heavy, bound for Amsterdam. Finally on the move. KC0ORL. MSP Airport Live. Hey, well, hello, right back at you. Usually watching LA flights. Good to see MSP on the YouTube. Well, you bet. We're happy to be back on the air as well. Watching from Mound, Minnesota. It's up in the North Metro for folks of you who are not familiar with the area. All right, hey, we got an A220 arrival.
Delta 160 Heavy, roger that. Runway 12 right. Line up and wait. No traffic on final.
Line up and wait, 12 right, Delta 160 heavy.
Delta 274, contact departure. Delta 730, you can turn left at Alpha 5 or 4, whichever works better for you. Contact route point at it.
Delta 160 Heavy, the A330neo bound for Amsterdam, should be lining up with runway 12 right any second now. All right, there's Delta 160.
Gas 3991, Minneapolis Tower, caution wake turbines departing heavy A330. The wind 0908, runway 12 right, clear the line. Delta 160 Heavy, fly runway heading, runway 12 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading 12 right, clear for takeoff, Delta 160 heavy.
All right, here we go, off to Amsterdam.
Charlie cross 12 right, whiskey cross 4, Delta Bravo 2.
Delta 160 Heavy, turn left heading 105, contact departure.
105 heading, going to departure, Delta 160 heavy.
Adios, 160 Heavy. Enjoy your flight to Amsterdam across the pond. Making the right-hand turn, joining Whiskey now is Delta 1202 for Las Vegas.
Over 1738, Minneapolis Airlines, 007, runway 12 left, clear to land.
Speaking of Las Vegas, Logan, you were in Las Vegas not too long ago.
No, not at all. Taking advantage of Delta throwing the flagship on the route for the Consumer Electronics Show. Ended up doing both legs, so Vegas MSP, MSP Vegas. Ended up hopping on both.
Personally, I'm hoping to make it out to Las Vegas this year. Not for any vacation reasons, but actually to attend a convention called NAB.
What's that?
National Association of Broadcasting Convention.
No, that's gotta be fun.
Yeah, that's the show for people who work in the broadcast industry. They have a convention, they have seminars, they've got all that stuff going on.
Oh, wow.
Typically takes place in the spring, so after CES. I wonder if it takes place at the same convention center as CES. That would be very interesting if it did.
Yeah, no doubt.
Caleb's Aviation wanted to know if the KLM A330-200 is still here at MSP. Why, you bet. earlier in the stream, we had a lovely sunlit shot of it coming in on runway 12 right if you want to backtrack a bit and watch it come in.
Look tower, the wind is 007, fly runway heading, runway 17 clear for takeoff. Scott 3991, you can turn left.
There's the KLM A330-200.
Left wind, able, ground.
It's already unloaded by now.
3991.
I also see the catering truck is over there too. As that A330-200 getting a quick resupply and a refuel for its trip later today back over to Amsterdam.
Total 1476, Maple Star 1007, runway 12 left, clear to land. Right, contact ground point under. Delta 1202 Troy heading 215, contact departure.
Yeah, busy enough. They're 15 minutes out. So they're 9 minutes. Yeah, it's good. The Houston Rockets are coming in. They'll be here in about 15 minutes or so. And there's a couple of Delta 330s heading out afterwards. And then
Thank you so much, Caleb's Aviation. Love MSP Airport Live. Great channel. Thank you.
I don't know if it's like football baseball, but I assume. But yeah, they're coming in. Yeah.
We've also got an update for you on the status of the Houston Rockets 767 300 ER charter to the Twin Cities.
The wind 0906,
We'll be coming in around 15 minutes. So we're not too far out from seeing that jet. And my first time laying eyes on the Houston Rockets private ride. That should be a great addition to our broadcast.
That's a really, really wild thing because normally
Yeah, who else can't wait for the Houston Rockets chariot to come in?
Yeah, I believe he is. He was letting some of the pilots that were taxiing by know that we were out here. So, yeah, it was pretty sweet. All just to have some nice contact.
You do this just for fun?
So we are monetized, so we're actually making some money off of that. But it's mostly share everything that we can. That's pretty sweet.
Up here every day, or
We try to do it.
how do you get the scanner?
It is a live ETC. Should be on Android. Otherwise, if you want to make a black try, last time maybe 30 or so ago, handheld scanner. I genuinely prefer the scanners because there's no delay.
1676, turn right at Papa 3, contact ground with point Niner.
I know, actually, I asked around the other day, I know they're booked up for a while. If you know the right people, you can actually go up.
Is that your buddy?
I might be, yeah, if he's still on tour. That depends. Might be as long as
Folks, we're going to take a short break. And around the other side of our short break, we're going to be getting the Houston Rockets 767, 300 ER, and more. That's all coming up. After these messages, you're watching MSP Airport Live. Stick with us.
JetTip offers automatic AvGeek flight alerts and filterable arrival departure boards. JetTip monitors every trackable flight in and out of an airport to see if it's unusual there. If the airline, aircraft type, or livery is unusual at that airport, we'll send you a text or an email. We track special liveries, diversions, test beds, and more. In other words, we keep track of the cool stuff so you don't have to. JetTip alerts are flexible and easy to set up. 2 tiers of alerts are issued, depending on the number of aircraft visits in the last 30 days. High priority for the first 2, low for the next 3. You can subscribe to text or email alerts for high priority, low priority, or both at up to 5 airports. JetTip coverage is available at all major US and Canadian airports and works on any smartphone, tablet, or computer with an internet connection. Improve your AvGeek experience. Sign up at jettip.net for your free 7-day trial.
Welcome back to live plane spotting from MSP International Airport on this fantastic February Saturday afternoon. Delighted to be with you all. Alex Redding joined alongside Logan Justice on the camera. I'm running the broadcast booth. Great to see all of you here on board the stream today. For those of you that have decided to spend time with us, we very much appreciate it. And we cannot wait for the arrival of the Houston Rockets 767 300 ER. It should be a fantastic addition to a day that is continually getting better and better when you look at the weather conditions outside. There's really not a cloud in sight. We started with a pretty overcast, dreary stream, and it's nice and sunny out. It's above freezing. Abnormal for this time of year up here in Minnesota.
1654 Minneapolis Tower, runway 12 right, clear to land, the wind 0605. 12 right, clear to land,
Yes, so we are at MSP Airport Live. We are actually streaming right now. We're kind of like in the Richmond phase for the moment.
Runway 3931 Minneapolis Tower, Delta cross runway 12 right, taxi to Whiskey and cross runway 4. Delta cross 12 right.
Reminder, ladies and gentlemen, we knew it's close and getting closer. The Houston Rockets, 767, 7 minutes out. It's now on the downwind for a runway 12 right arrival.
Yeah, that they're using a different kind of.
You can track this jet right now on Flight Radar 24 or FlightAware or whatever flight tracking app that you prefer. Registration is November 625 Hotel Romeo, or HR.
Tower Delta 64, it is a little lazy.
And of course, we all know why that aircraft's registration ends in Hotel Romeo. It's because it's the initials for the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets will be playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I got to say, the Timberwolves, they are having a historic year this year in the NBA. Haven't followed them as much. I don't follow pro
3974,
basketball
turn
as
right,
much as
contact
some of the
ground
other
point
sports
Yeah,
fanatics here in the Twin Cities.
Coming out the same day here, exactly because of that.
Yeah, but I genuinely wish them luck this season and finding success that's been hard to come by the past several years for the franchise. We'll be getting a really good test in Houston coming up.
Percent 3447 Minneapolis, Tower, the wind 0606, runway 12 left, start line. Convoy 3931, your time for O'Hare 41 to 43, so got about 5 minutes at the end, just hold short of the Kilo taxiway and we'll get you out when it's time.
4143, we'll hold short Kilo, Envoy 3931.
You can use the ladder there if you want. That's the next door one I brought out.
Sure.
Logan Justice bringing his spare spotting ladder out. Always happy to lend it to an Av Geek needing a little extra boost in height. Yeah, that's the one thing that we have to contend with here at the aircraft viewing area are the fences that surround the perimeter that keep the airport safe.
I was here about, I think, a month ago, and I think I saw you guys.
Oh, yeah?
It was like late at night. You guys were like closing up the stream and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. That's when the New Orleans Saints came to town on the United 777-200, if I'm not mistaken.
That's who it was.
It's like I knew it was a 777. I was like, which team was it? Because I don't pay attention to that.
And we stayed way later than we
Yeah.
intended to stay, and that, of course, was due to the fact that the 777-200 charter carrying the New Orleans Saints, that was behind schedule a little bit.
Secretary 8243, Minneapolis, area up.
We're up, Secretary 243.
Secretary 8243, you're number 1. Fly runway heading, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 17, number 1. Secretary 243.
What is it?
Got 3663, Minneapolis, Tower 10606, runway 12 left, clear to land.
Departing shortly for Denver, Colorado. We've got one of those MAX 9s getting out of here for United Airlines on flight 634.
Envoy 3931, you can taxi full length, we'll get you out next.
Alright, we'll hold short, runway 17, Envoy 3931.
So there's United Flight 634. Registration on this MAX 9 is November 37514.
Brickhead 3447, turn right, contact ground point under. Envoy 3931, runway 17, line up and wait.
Runway 17, line up and wait, Envoy 3931.
They just turned on final. The Houston Rocket 767.
Monitor point under.
Going to be arriving on runway 12 right in just a couple of minutes.
Tower, November 65, Hotel Romeo, have you with you, 3012 right.
For 65 Hotel Romeo, Minneapolis, Tower 10606, runway 12 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, 12 right. 65 Hotel Romeo.
Well, speak of the devil, there she was, getting clearance to land on runway 12 right.
Envoy 3931 flighting 150, runway 17 clear for takeoff.
Fly heading 150, runway 17 clear for takeoff, runway 30. Customer departure, Country 243.
Country 8243, terrain 8215, contact departure.
215 departure, Country 243.
In front of our Houston Rockets charter, it's a CRJ 900 LR for Endeavor Air flying flight 5008 from Rochester.
Endeavor 5008, turn left enable, contact ground point enter.
Throughout the past hour, there's been quite a few people trickling in to the available spaces offered to the public at the aircraft viewing area to catch the Houston Rockets charter come in.
Delta 1819 Minneapolis Tower.
Really just to take in a nice Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening of plane spotting.
150, contact departure.
Departure, heading 150, Envoy 39.
See if we can get a shot of all the folks here at the aircraft viewing area that are lining up to catch the Houston Rockets charter come in.
You gonna post it anywhere?
Yeah, YouTube.
I would.
Does it?
Yeah.
I'm more of a shorts guy,
Oh,
so.
God.
I might-
Oh yeah, if we're doing shorts,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely do vertical. Say otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, all my videos are usually shorts. So.
See if Logan can get a shot of the aircraft viewing area. Want to give you guys a picture of the group of people that have showed up here today. We're waiting for Logan to get set up on that shot here. Well, we might have to get to it here in just a second.
3775.
There's the aircraft viewing area.
Right,
and to the right of your screen, you can see the assembly of ladders and spotters on them. All right, here come the Houston Rockets.
Hotel Romeo, turn right when you're able, contact ground point enter.
Ground point 9, 65 Hotel Romeo here.
All right, there we go. The Houston Rockets. They're officially in town.
I love how all the private airliners, the engine cowlings are always like mirror shiny.
I'll bet. I will second that. Here's Delta Flight 1819 from SJD.
Delta 1039, Minneapolis, Charlie 10606, runway 12 right, clear to land.
Clear line 12 right, Delta 1039.
Look at 2387, Minneapolis, Charlie runway 17, line up and wait, 2 minutes.
You can just see the tail of the Houston Rocket 767 poking up from behind the utility building there. It's going to come into view any second now. Traversing taxiway Whiskey. Just in case you missed it, this is also a jet tip priority alert.
Do 387, plotting 150, runway 17, clear for takeoff, wind 0605. Got 3775, turn left one able, contact ground point niner.
Left one able, ground point niner, scale series 975.
There you go, folks. That's the catch of the day. The Houston Rocket 767-300ER. Logan, how'd the footage turn out?
Buttery smooth. Golden hour certainly helped to bring out the stripes on it, I think. You know, and just like how shiny it is. All of those business jets and the private airliners, so ridiculous shiny. Not like the regular ones aren't by any means, but like, oh my goodness, there's never like a scuff or a scratch on them.
Very well kept. The Houston Rocket 767 was not the only private charter jet for an NBA team in at MSP recently. I know that Mark Cuban's 757 chartering the Dallas Mavericks was in.
That's right, yeah.
5387, plotting 150,
I want to say that was back on Tuesday earlier in the week. Folks, we'd like to take a moment to let you know that our broadcasts are sponsored in part by DG Pilot, the purveyor of gifts for the aviation and travel enthusiasts. Check them out at dgpilot.com. And I do realize that that graphic is a bit old. Yeah, big shout out and big thank you to Donnie Gardner and the rest of the DG Pilot crew for helping to support our operation. They run a really great model shop. They also sell a lot of travel gear, travel accessories for your next adventure. They've got a lot of travel guides there too. Minnesota-made local goods. They got an interesting assortment of things. There's something for everyone. So check them out 24/7 at dgpilot.com, or you can visit their 406A St. Peter Street store in downtown St. Paul inside the historic Ham building. The A330-300 that we just had in frame moments ago, that's in charge of Delta Flight 152 to Paris Charles de Gaulle with an ex-Northwest A330-300. Haven't seen a lot of the A330-300s at MSP recently, but
there's so many Neos.
Good to see the older metal showing itself.
200's still sticking around, though, at least.
Yeah, that's
For,
been consistent.
Delta 10 and 11, the Heathrow flights.
There's only 11 A330-200s in Delta's fleet, even more rare than the 400ER. And the 400ER is a truncated term for the 767 400ER. That's the largest variant Boeing ever made of the 767. There were not a lot of them made to begin with, and Delta, along with United, are the sole two operators, the only two operators of that type. There was a period of time, once upon a time back in 2022, where we were getting the 767 400ER
I miss it.
to and from London Heathrow. Yeah, I miss the 400ERs as well.
You know, we get them for the occasional sports charter nowadays, so that's about it. Can we get some of those this summer, too, along with everything else? That'd be kind of cool.
Please, Delta, send some 764s our way. Much appreciated. Logan's taking a break from the camera, and arriving in the background from Nashville is Delta 702.
Delta 702, exit Alpha 4 or further down and contact ground point up. Southwest 996.
Delta CRJ 900. Glad to see you guys back. It's been so long. I know, too long. Well, thank you for spending part of your Saturday afternoon with us.
Yeah, good to see you on here.
Delta CRJ 900, that's the channel of David Booth. Good to hear from him. It's been a while since I've heard from him anyway. Scott Norris from the Northwest Airlines History Center, our good friends over there, letting us know that Scott is back from running his errands and glad to see that the golden sunshine has returned. The battery situation with our cameras doing A-okay.
Yeah, we've only gone through one whole battery so far.
The colder weather definitely impacts battery life, and it impacts the electronics themselves inside the cameras. The cameras that we use are only designed to operate in conditions that are no less than 20 degrees Fahrenheit, or around that particular temperature.
You know, if that was the case, I shouldn't be selling them in Minnesota, because that's not how that works.
Scouts 3838 Minneapolis, Charlie 10705, runway 12 right.
I'm just kidding. They're probably not expecting every plane spotter to have a Sony AX53 using it out when it's like 0 degrees. Not that I've done that or anything recently.
Descend Aviation. Hey guys, well, hello, back to you. And if you've had comments for us, trying to do our best to manage everything here. Well, we have a second. I'm going to take a look back at some of the comments as to what you guys have said. Pull up any interesting comments here. Caleb's Aviation asks, beautiful KLM livery. Do you prefer the new one, so the current one that they have, Logan, or the one pre-2016?
Current, for sure. It blends a lot better. Not that the regular flat sheet line has anything wrong with it. It really doesn't, but the newer one, you know, it retains how it looked originally with just like a little bit of a modern touch.
I would tend to agree with that. from Atlanta, Georgia. Delta 2981 from Atlanta with an A321.
2981, exit Alpha 4, contact ground point enter.
449.
And of course, this comment was earlier. Caleb's Aviation says hello from Detroit.
1626 Minneapolis Airwind 004, runway 1 to your right, clear to land.
There's our A330-300 on the move. Most of Delta's A330-300s are former Northwest Airlines property. The original Northwest A330-300s and 200s have the Pratt & Whitney PW4000 series engines, and the ones that were ordered to by Northwest Airlines that were delivered to Delta after the 2008 merger, Delta opted to have those A330s fitted with the GE CF6 power plants. And you can tell a CF6 engine on the 330s in Delta's fleet from the Pratt & Whitney just based on how big the exhaust cone is sticking out of the back of each engine. The Pratt & Whitney exhaust cones are much shorter in length.
More of a plateau than a cone, really.
More of a stubby end.
Yeah. And the Pratt & Whitneys have flat ends, and the CF6s have very long, pointy ends, similar to that of the 737s.
The angle on this shot is so interesting. It looked like the A330-300 in the foreground, that's Delta 152 to Paris Charles de Gaulle, was holding hands and carrying Delta 1039 arriving from Detroit, which is an A321. There's all kinds of interesting perspectives out here at the viewing area, as we've just seen. All right, another spotter guide. It's the Delta A330neo, powered by two Trent 7000 engines. We just saw it earlier. Typically, it would have been flying the flight to Paris Charles de Gaulle. It was subbed for an A330-300. Just under 7,000 miles worth of range. And a wingspan of 218 feet 7 inches. It's 210 feet long, right on the nose. And our spotter guides are presented in part by DG Pilot, the purveyor of gifts for the aviation and travel enthusiast.
Minneapolis Charlie 1004, runway 1 to your right, clear to land.
Logan, I'm willing to bet that this A330-300 that's in charge of Delta 152 was swapped out in place of an A330neo, the one that we saw earlier head off to Tech Ops being towed in front of Terminal 2. I'm willing to bet that the aircraft that we saw get towed earlier was supposed to be in charge of this flight, but Delta had to sub it for one of the older Airbus A330s.
I wonder. Yeah, that's certainly a possibility that they decided to swap them out way earlier. I would be curious to know what the last flight that Neo did, because usually if they swap it out like that at the last minute deal and it results in the departing flight getting very delayed, which I don't think 152 is. But otherwise, yes, it's actually a really valid theory.
Arriving from Las Vegas on 12 right, Delta 1593 with a 737-900 ER. And there is
Okay, we
flight
gotta go around in the
1593.
background.
Maintain 3000 and fly heading of 135.
Yep, there is a go around. There's a go around.
Appears to be a 757 as well. I heard something about flaps, but I don't know what it was for.
Once we get the checklist done, we'll be back with you.
747, roger that. Just finding out more information. Approach will get all you that for you. For now, just stay with me. Climb maintain 3000.
3000 with you, Delta 747.
Yeah, let's focus on the security camera.
1593, turn left.
I might have stepped on ATC when they were talking, but I think it's something to do with the flaps.
Delta 152 heavy, runway 12 right, line up and wait.
12 right, line up and wait, Delta 152 heavy.
Delta 747 going around right now is a 757-300. And X Northwest 757-300 from Phoenix, Sky Harbor.
What's the registration number on it?
Registration 592 November Whiskey.
Cool.
Delta 747, climb maintain 6000. I'll have another vector here, another 2 miles.
I gotta spin around.
You said 6,000?
Affirmative. Delta 747, climb maintain 6000.
6,000, Delta 747.
Delta 152 heavy, the wind 0603, fly runway heading, runway 12 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading, 12 right, clear for takeoff, Delta 152 heavy.
Delta 747, turn right heading 215, and contact approach on 124.7.
215 and 24.7, Delta 747.
All right, here's Delta 152 lining up with runway 12 right, bound for Paris.
Right. 5574, Minneapolis Tower, runway 12 right, clear to land, the wind 0704. Heavy, turn left heading 105, contact departure.
Heading 105, departure, Delta 152 heavy.
Feel the power on that Pratt & Whitney
Yeah, no
PW
kidding.
4000 A330 takeoff.
Good buzzsaw on that one, too.
Yeah, a little bit of a growl as well.
Yeah.
You'll get that from time to time. on the 330s that Delta flies. It's more common on the A330-200s that have a slightly derated version of the ones that the 300 Airbus A330 series has.
Speaking of 200s,
Yeah.
Delta 10, heavy to Heathrow, just got done pushing back. And they'll be out of here in just a few minutes. Looks like our stream's going to be ended with the 330 and the 757 go-around that should be landing around the same time.
And it's a 757-300 go-around, not the usual 200 version of the 757. The 300 is the stretched version, entering service in 1999. Or production, I can't remember which.
I couldn't tell you.
Turn left unable, contact ground point, enter.
It was very faint and in the background, and if you're able to hear it, the power off was the speaker that Logan is using to listen to our scanner 2 to... Oh, here we go. There's Delta 10 with the A330-200.
Yeah, the speaker is more for me than anything, just so I can still maintain situational awareness and hear what's going on. That is a lovely sound. Listen to that.
Let's take a look at our next spotter guide presented by DG Pilot, the purveyor of gifts for the aviation and travel enthusiasts. It's the A330-200, which we just saw, that's going to be off to London Heathrow in just a bit. There's only 11 of them in Delta's fleet, all of which are former Northwest Airlines jets. Cruising speed of 531 miles an hour, range of just north of 7,000 miles, powered by a couple of Pratt & Whitney PW4000 series engines. And this aircraft is actually wider than it is long, a wingspan of 197 feet 10 inches and a length of 191 feet 6 inches. And that's a look at the spotter guide presented by DG Pilot for the Delta A330-200. There's Delta 10 as we're zooming out. Pacing it on the near side, as we saw moments ago, an American flight bound for Miami. It's Flight 725 with a 737-800. We've also got a United Airlines A319 bound for O'Hare. The A319 for United was in charge of... Got to pull it up here for just a second. I lost it for a second. There we go. That A319 was in charge of United Flight 3783 to Chicago O'Hare, as we have an MD-95 coming in from St. Louis, Missouri. There's Delta 10 with the Minneapolis skyline in the background. The MD-95, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is what the 717 started out with being called in development. And it was actually around the merger when the aircraft was being developed. The project was started by McDonnell Douglas, then McDonnell Douglas bought Boeing with Boeing's money in 1996. And then Boeing continued the development of the MD-95, and they renamed it the 717. And it started hitting up the skies in 2000. The 717, by the way, as we continue to look at Delta 10 Heavy here, waiting to get out of here to London Heathrow.
This frequency is great.
We've got a CRJ 900 LR landing. SkyWest 3904 not giving me a chance to finish my thought. Arriving from Pittsburgh with the CRJ 900. It'll be making its way over to the north side of MSP. It'll either be headed to the A or the C gates.
4794 Minneapolis Tower, the wind is 0505, runway 12 right.
But anyway, on the 717, as I was about to allude to earlier, the 717 is the last remaining in-service descendant, and in regular service, that is, of the DC-9. And the DC-9 was a jet that was loved by Northwest Airlines. They ran those things till they couldn't run them no more, or it wasn't economical to.
United 3783 flooding 150, runway 17, clear for takeoff.
That new microphone is perfect for grabbing the action like this. It is.
10 heavy traffic, 6 mile final, runway 12 right, line of point. Let's try line point, Delta 10 heavy.
Moments ago, landing on runway 12 right was Delta 1860 from PVR. That's Puerto Vallarta in Mexico with a 737-900ER. And here is Delta 10.
Delta 10 heavy, the wind's variable 4, flag runway heading, runway 12 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway heading 12 right, clear for takeoff, Delta 10 heavy.
United 3783 flying 150, contact departure.
growl from the ex-Northwest A330-200, now off and about to London Heathrow.
10 heavy, turn left heading 105, contact departure.
Heading at 105 to departure, Delta 10 heavy.
The A330-200s have a derated version of the same Pratt & Whitney engines that power the A330-300s. The slightly longer version of the A330, in fact, the base variant of the A330.
What was that? I'm gonna see what happened to that go around real quick, and then I think we're just about done here.
Turn left when you're able, contact ground point out.
I think it was flaps.
Logan's going to check in on that Delta 757-300 that we saw go around earlier. And
Oh, there
my
he is.
goodness,
He's coming
that
up.
sunset
About 5 minutes away.
to the west is just
Yeah,
gorgeous.
It just got resequenced finally, so.
See if we can get a shot of the sunset here at MSP Airport.
Flaps, I just wanted to run check-ins, I guess.
We'll wait for Logan to get set up here momentarily.
Hopefully all is well.
Is that why the trucks are all...
No, that's something else. They'd have 4 fire trucks all lined up on the runway. Something was really wrong.
Garages are open though. We're opening.
Oh damn, are we gonna get
trucks?
Hey Alex, we got trucks coming up. I only see 2. I'm not gonna freak out until.
See if they're dispatched to this.
Folks, we're going to stay on the air just a bit longer here. We're kind of waiting to see how this situation is playing out with the 757-300 that had to go around.
Oh yeah, here we go. Alex, we got.
Well, the trucks are rolling.
I didn't get it a page, but
Come on, focus. Let's go. Wake up.
Logan not happy with the camera's autofocus.
There we go.
Number 4998, Minneapolis, Airlines 0705.
There we go. There are the trucks getting ready to roll.
Crash 14 on the hotel, crossing 422.
There go the trucks.
Delta 138, turn left, contact ground point enter. That's
There's the gorgeous sunset that I was talking about earlier. Hopefully the sun is not going to go away too soon.
Here, what's going on?
2 or 3 out right now.
What out? What? Like minutes?
Well, it'll take us 2 seconds in line. So I'm gonna turn it.
Oh. What's the problem, do you know?
I'm guessing it's a flap issue. That's
Weird.
what I'm calling
Maybe they couldn't get the last notch down or something. No.
it. If they're calling,
I mean, they're going to be fast, but
if they're calling them in, it's probably gonna be.
No, 47, start when you want to.
worst case scenario, he gets like a brake fire or something, but I doubt it. He'll be fine. They can use some good reverse thrust on that. I'm not concerned. Number 757's overpowered.
So the trucks are rolling for the 757 that had to go around. What we think is due to a flaps issue, which is very serious.
4998, turn left, contact ground point 9er.
I just lost your camera. Lost it again. Lost it again.
Did you check your input?
No, it's your camera.
Oh, no.
I got it. I got it now.
Because I'm recording, that's why. I was recording, that's why, so I won't record.
Secretary 349, Minneapolis, Tower, the wind 0605, flighting 150, rolling 176 for takeoff.
There's more of a close-up on one of the many Oshkosh fire trucks at the Airport Commission Fire Department fields. Emergency crews are standing by for this stricken 757-300. An ex-Northwest jet is having what we believe to have a serious flap issue or flap issues. You definitely don't expect to end a stream this way, let alone come out here and see this at all. Tense moments here at the aircraft viewing area. There's another shot of one of the Oshkosh trucks. This is Unit 17 standing by. Delta 747. About to touch down on runway 12 right, and the trucks are starting to roll. Here is the stricken 757-300.
Flighting 150, contact departure. Delta 747, turn left when able, and will you need any further assistance, or should we stow the emergency equipment?
We'll exit on the next run if we are good with the emergency equipment. We appreciate the assistance. Delta 747.
Delta 747, roger that. Contact ground point 9er.
Contact down on point 9, Delta 747.
Step 5, just to make it official, you can stand down the equipment. Have a good night.
Tower Crash 18 back with you at hotel license across 422.
Super happy to see the 757-300 exit the runway and make its way to the proper gate. That had to be a hair-raising moment on board. I'll tell you what, not just for the passengers, but especially the crew having to deal with what I can pretty safely confirm was a flaps issue.
Yeah.
Those flaps were not all the way down when that aircraft planted on runway 12 right.
So, not having all the flaps up means landing faster, got to brake a little bit harder, brakes can get hot, don't want them to catch fire, so you roll the trucks out as a precaution. Never quite know, and the 7.5s are getting pretty old, so possibility of other things happening to it, but thankfully we're all good. She turned off the runway, she's going back to a gate, and we're set. So gave the fire crews an exciting end to their day, and of course, as always, props to ATC for keeping everything going nice and smooth. And the pilots as well. Way to go for a good landing.
Yeah, the tense situation on board, Delta, those pilots, they're trained to deal with these situations.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, 100%. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well executed.
Hey, babe, how was work today? Oh, I landed the 757, but fast this time. Have to do a go-around,
A go-around, an emergency landing due to flaps issues on both of the wings.
The reason why they went around so late is because they were probably trying to put in the last notch or two, and they wouldn't want to come down, so you got to go around, do some checklists, and just land a little bit faster. So, there are far worse things that could happen. So, but they're on the ground safe and sound, and that's what we care about.
Well, I know the next bit of metal that's going to be in for a checkup at Tech Ops pretty soon.
Yeah, you can probably expect it to get ferried down there at some point tonight. But thankfully, it's nice because it's the end of the day, and probably doesn't have anything else going on after this, so they can get it fixed up and ready to go for tomorrow. At least assuming it doesn't have anything else going on, but
yeah, for sure. Logan, any final thoughts as we wrap this one up here from MSP Airport?
Yay, no overcast. We actually got a nice sunset this time. Kept everything nice and warm. But it was great to be back on. Glad that we got the network kinks all ironed out and we're able to go hopefully at least once a week from here on out. And maybe we'll get some snow, maybe we'll get some rain. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Really, with this winter, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I was really happy that we were able to get a stream in and we were able to sail past the
about time.
Network trouble that we had to start the stream. Of course, that's to be expected when you transition to a new network provider. Yeah. You're going to have those teething problems, but great to see that got sorted out. And that we were able to bring you an entertaining stream today from Minneapolis and St. Paul here at MSP International Airport. We also want to give a big shout out to our supporters, and this one being Jet Tip. Thank you so much, Nick Benson, for providing technical support when needed for us. Nick is a good friend of ours, and he runs a really sweet app. You should check it out at jettip.net or the App Store or Google Play for a better AvGeek experience. Filterable arrival and departure boards, a diversion tracker. You get smart flight alerts sent to your email inbox or text message, however you like.
I will say those diversion alerts are lightning fast. We had it was a Southwest 737 that was climbing out of here. I got the alert for it, went to go check it on Flight Radar 24. It hadn't even completed the turn back to the airport. That's how fast they are.
Wow. So again, visit Jet Tip on the internet at jettip.net to learn how you can get started with a free trial. Also download the app on the App Store and Google Play. Subscription is only $5 a month, and it's worth it.
Yeah, for the diversion alerts alone, $5 is worth it. And on top of that, you get everything else. All your specials, all your flight boards. It's amazing.
So the image inside of the phone mock-up on the on-screen graphic, that was a real screen cap from my phone used to make that graphic. That was a real day of activity here at MSP Airport. Look at all those priorities. Look at the two blues and then just everything is red. And so Jet Tip will help you keep track of the cool stuff so you don't have to. Also, we'd like to thank our friends at the Northwest Airlines History Center for helping to get the word out with these live streams and the friendship that we have with them. For more information, visit them online at northwestairlineshistory.org. It's a grassroots organization, and any support you can give them would help tremendously. They do a great job preserving the Northwest Airlines lineage. And they have a really cool little museum at the Crown Plaza Air Hotel. Interrupting Boeing 737. And again, visit them at northwestairlineshistory.org to check out their mission and support them.
On 1912, turn left at Alpha 3, contact ground, point 9er.
Left turn Alpha 3, contact point 9, over.
Lastly, we'd like to thank everyone for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon, now evening. Folks have been a terrific audience, and a very special appreciation for those of you that stuck with us early on and able to get a good stream in. I know that we got Logan's final thoughts, and, well, my lasting impression from today, a very thrilling end to a day that started pretty overcast, pretty frustrating, but it ultimately turned out to be a marvelous day. So looking forward to the next one. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at MSP Airport Live. Be sure to check us out on social media as well with the handle at MSP Airport Live. And for our entire crew of Logan Justice and myself, thank you so much for tuning in to MSP Airport as we say adios on this Saturday night. Good night.